gentlemen, 938 Live presents No Limits with Nick Vujicic. Give him a warm round of applause.
Hi, Singapore. Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the warm welcome. It is my privilege and honor to be here tonight. I want to thank all the sponsors, especially MediaCorp and the people and friends that have enabled me to come to Singapore. This is my 7th time, and so I know Singlish, right? Yeah. It's good lah, huh? Yeah? Oh, thank you. I get a round of applause for that. As you've seen me on the media, it's been absolutely fantastic. We had a wonderful time with the President of Singapore this morning, the Defense Minister about an hour ago backstage, and I've just felt so much welcome from 938 Live and everyone and all the media. So thank you, Singapore, for loving me, and I want to tell you that this is not my last time to Singapore, and I don't know if it's going to be next year or the year after, but one of these years, I definitely want to bring my wife and my son. They say hello to you. And I'm very well aware that many people have seen YouTube videos. Maybe you've seen me on media. Maybe you've seen me speaking in different venues. And tonight I want to purely motivate you and inspire you to be all that you can be. I'm going to give you 8 principles. I know Singapore, 8's a good number, right? And so I want to share with you some 8 basic principles that really has transformed me in how I think and how I have been successful. And not to say that I am a superhero at all. I don't even see myself as a great person. I see myself just like you, going through the ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. And, you know, I have my ups and downs in my life. There are many things that I need to continue to work in me, in my personality at times. I get frustrated, you know, with little things just like you. But what I've realized, basically, the points that actually limit our full potential, most of the time, it's our fault for putting limitations on our full potential. So I want to help you to really have an honest perspective of who you are, what you have, where do you want to go, who do you want to be, and how do you get there. I have a sense of humor that people sort of don't know exactly should they laugh or should they not, especially, you know, adults, they don't know what to do. Do they shake my hand? I'm just a hugging machine. I hug everyone. And the scary thing about hugging so many people is that someone can just pick me up and take me home. We broke the Guinness Book of World Records last year for how many hugs we did in an hour. 1,749 hugs. Yeah, thank you. My arms fell off, yeah? But I love freaking people out as well. We really do have fun. We look at our life. My family, you know, looks at my life, and I look at their life as, you know, there are interesting things that happen, and some things you cannot change, and those are the things you need to accept, and then try and change the things you can change. And so with the people's perception of, you know, should they have a conversation with me or not, humor was always something where I used as an icebreaker. And, you know, I sometimes take it a little bit too far, you know, like, you know, I get my friends to put me in the overhead compartment of the plane and freak people out as they get on. The greatest plane trick we did actually was last year. I was speaking at a very, very large church, and I joked about how fun it would be to dress me up as a pilot and greet the passengers as they got on the plane. A commercial airline pilot emailed us at the office and said, "Let's do it." And I'm thinking, well, okay, if we get in trouble, no one's going to handcuff me, right? So So one day on a 6 a.m. flight from Texas, Dallas, we were flying to California in Los Angeles. 6 a.m. flight, people walking down the jetway. You know that little jetway on the way to the plane? People having their coffee, right? They're sort of half asleep. And they come up to the plane and they see me. I say, good morning, how are you? Welcome aboard. My name is Captain Nick Vujicic, and I'm going to be flying the plane today. And they're like, what? They're like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. They're like, how do you do that? And I said, and they said, was that brainwave technology? And I said, yeah. Just pray that I don't get distracted, you know. They're freaking out. I said, yes, I'm a little nervous myself. My palms are a little sweaty. So he brought everyone on the plane, and everyone's sort of like chit-chatting, like, seriously, did you see that guy? Yeah, oh my gosh, is he seriously flying the plane? And I walk on the plane, and I get the microphone like the pilot, you know, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a wonderful flight to Los Angeles. The weather is quite fine with not much turbulence. And everyone is freaking out. They're sticking their head down the aisle. They're like, ah! And then I said, I'm just joking. And they're like, ah! I went down the plane to interview some people on the camera. It was very, very funny. Some people were very tempted to wait for the next flight. The funniest story I can tell you is one day I was in a car and we're at the traffic lights and I'm the front passenger side and this car comes up next to us and this girl's looking at me. And I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, I'm looking at her, and this is before I'm married, of course. And all she sees is my head, right? She doesn't see the rest of my body, so just imagine all you see is my head. I get the seatbelt in my mouth and I loosen it like this so then I can freely move. So she's seeing this head bite the seatbelt, and she's like, now I have 100% undivided attention. And now I can move, and I let go of the seatbelt, and I just did this. Just imagine all you see is my head. I just did this. And she thought my head did a 360-degree spin. She was like, ah! It was very, very funny. So, you know, I sometimes freak kids out, you know. Some kids come up and say, what happened? And I say, cigarettes. So I have many times where I have, you know, used humor to break the ice or just have fun and make sure I don't go too far. But I do literally love life. There are things in life where things get you so unexpectedly. Circumstances, and I'm not immune to that at all. In fact, 2.5 years ago, I heard it's now #1 in your top 10 books, Unstoppable, here in Singapore. And in that book, I talk about how I went through a breakdown, a burnout, about 2.5 years ago. Between years 2007 and 2010, I spoke 1,000 times, 600 flights. They say I run so fast, I leave my legs behind. And I had some plans to create some businesses, so then with that profit of that business, then I can give towards my nonprofit organization ministry, which takes me around the world, and I'm allowed to talk about my faith. And we've given away $500,000 away to the needy. We have seen some encouragement given to sex slaves. We've given money away to orphanages. And I've been to 49 countries, and I've seen a lot of pain. And I wanted to really give more to the world, but I couldn't keep on speaking at the pace I was. So I thought, okay, if I keep up that pace and then start a couple businesses, then I don't have to keep asking people for money, because we don't know where the bills are going to get paid in 8 weeks. For those of you who have a, you know, non-profit, it's exactly non-profit. There is no profit in that. And so we know that, you know, we need more support to help the world, because the world needs a lot of help. Well, when my businesses failed, it was 12 weeks into my relationship with my wife. We were dating, and our love stories in that book as well, of course. It was love at first sight. Fireworks were in the air. And when I told her that I was broke and I lost all my money, I had a cash flow crisis, a $210,000 cash flow little hole there. And it just took me down. For-profit motivational company, attitude is altitude. I had no money left, and I had to give up a lot of stuff that I thought was going to work out. And I'm thinking, man, what am I going to do? Did I really make really bad choices, or was it just bad luck, or where did I go wrong, and what can I learn from it? In the end, I told my wife, I'm broke. Crying, 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 panic attacks, hair falling out of my head. I was I was going through a dark time. So I want you to first know that I'm just like you. Again, ups and downs, right? But you get through it. You know that the strength that I have today is only because of yesterday's pain. Does that make sense? If I didn't have the challenges that I had, then I wouldn't have had the courage to keep on going, and that courage gave me strength, which gave me strength to go through those valleys that prepare me for the valleys ahead. Life is not about going from a valley to a mountain. Life is all about going through valleys and mountains and valleys and mountains. About good days and bad days. Learning about yourself, learning about life, trying to communicate love to everyone around you as best as you can. Trying to find purpose, trying to find the truth of the meaning of life. And when I told her I had no money, she didn't flinch at all. She said, it's okay, I'll get a nursing job and support the both of us. That's when I knew, and I saw that reciprocated love, how much she's committed to me, that it's not on anything. I knew that, all right, she loves me the way that I am, but man, I was thinking, geez, this is not a good time to be depressed. 12 weeks into our relationship, she said, it's all good, I'm not going anywhere. And that's when I knew she was going to be my wife. And 12 months into our dating, I proposed to her. And we put the ring in a cream puff. You know, the little cake, yeah? And we made about 21 of them. I got it from the bakery. I got one of my friends to make sure the ring's in the one with the sugar coating. And so I got her to feed me the one with the sugar coating. And it was so big, but I had to put it all in my mouth. And I ate it all. And then I tried to get rid of all the cream off the ring. And then I said, baby, let me kiss your hand. And I look at her left hand, so she brings her left hand. I go, mwah, 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 mwah. And I get to her ring finger, and I, go all the way down her finger. And she's thinking I'm getting kinky, right? She's like, what's going on, right? And I pull away, and she sees the ring, and she starts crying. And I said, baby, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? And for 2 minutes, she cried, and I said, so... And then she said, yes, yes, yes. And it was the best day of our life. Many people want to avoid pain. Many people want to avoid the valleys. But without the valleys, we would not be who we are today. Yeah, without the failures, we wouldn't have the wisdom that we have today. And so that is life. Unexpected things, big things, small things. Now my business has recovered, and we're continuing to keep on going. I dreamt ahead. I did too many things. You know, some people who are just multitaskers and they just never sleep, and everybody's like saying, yeah, that's everyone in Singapore, you know. There's no such thing as overworked in Singapore. If you're working more than you need to, it's because of your inefficiency. And that's how hard life gets, with pressures of employers and deadlines and all these things, and then trying to balance work and family. I planned my life differently when I was single. I planned my life differently when I was married. And I planned my life different now that we have a 7-month-old son. This year, 24 countries. It's such an adventure. It's such an awesome, awesome year. But it's a very, very difficult year because we couldn't bring them along with me. And so I'm going to another 9 countries. After I go back, Singapore is my last stop. And then I go back home. Then I go do 9 countries in South America. And so this is a difficult year. So what I want to establish up front right now, I'm just like you. And you're like thinking, no, you're not. I am. And I want to get to the crux and the message of what I want to communicate today. I want to communicate today the truth of three things. I want you to understand that these are the most important things you need to find. The truth of your value is the first thing. That was so hard for me. Being thankful, that's point number one. So I'm going to give you 3 basics, and I'm going to give you 8 points. You with me? Some of you may take notes, some of you won't take notes. If you're not taking notes, I encourage you to take notes, because you're going to go home and your family's going to say, how was it? And you're going to say, it was awesome. What did he say? I don't know. So I encourage you to take notes while we're going. So the 3 ABCs of life, if you want, is the truth of your value. Okay? And the first point, the first key of knowing who you are, you first of all need to know that who you are is valuable, whether you have arms and legs or not, whether you're rich or not, no matter what nationality you have, no matter what religion you have, you are beautiful just the way that you are. I will never force anyone to be someone they are not. It is our choice. It is our free will. If you want to know something more about something, then go for it and explore, and you make your decision based upon that. But I want you to know that in your life, do not believe the lies of the truth of your value being devalued. I'm thinking as a kid, man, everybody else has arms and legs. Everyone else can run. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know what my parents said? It's okay. And I'm thinking, it's not okay. I was the first disabled child to go into the mainstream school system of Australia in 1990. And the truth of my value was watered down by all the lies. You know those people that you have in your life? That no matter how bad of a day you're having, that you know when you see them coming up to you and walking towards you, you're thinking, oh no, my day's just about to get worse. And no matter how bad of a day you have, they're going to make your day worse, right? On average, everybody has about 3 of those people somewhere, somehow in our sphere of influence. But they are not your greatest discouragers. You are your greatest discourager. It only takes 3 seconds for someone to plant a seed of lies in you, and you keep on remembering it and rehearsing it and repeating it, and then the more you hear it, the more you believe it. And so some kids who are bullying and teasing me, it's just seeds that grew, and it grew into a tree of lies. And the tree of lies I didn't get rid of in my mind, I didn't get rid of in my heart, because I didn't know the truth. How are you going to know the truth if you don't know? Sorry, how do you know that the lie is a lie until you know the truth? So I didn't know the truth. Yes, my mom told me I was beautiful. You know, so many daughters, they hear from their mom and dad, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. And the daughters say, of course you're going to tell me I'm beautiful. I'm your daughter. And sometimes the teenagers put a do not disturb sign on their door, right? Parents, here's some great advice. Respect that sign. But go out the door, go around the house, stick your head through the window and say, you're beautiful. Because if you don't tell them that they're beautiful, who will? TV? Not likely. I want you to know today that we have to be deliberate with the next generation. Not just character, but affirmation. Not just education, but time spent with Father, Son. I know that I have 28,000 invitations for me to speak. I receive 200 invitations for me to speak every single week. If I wanted to, I could continue to be on the road as much as I want, but I chose that I am only doing 6 weeks of motivational speaking in 2013. It's already locked in, it's already booked, and I already know that it's only going to be 6 weeks in 2015. I know my balance. I know my schedule. I have worked so hard to get where I am, where I can choose my schedule and then invest 6 months of every year into my passion through my nonprofit organization. So I want you to know that there are times where you get busy. There are seasons. But what I want to make sure that no matter what success I'm going after, I need to keep the truth of my value right in me and in my family first. How will my son know that I love him? By how much money I give him? No. By what university he goes to? No. I had a dad who emphasized, and I have a dad who used to very much emphasize education. Nick, you got to get a B in mathematics. You got to get a B in mathematics. Forget about a C. You got to get to a B, and then I got a D. And he said, you got to get a B, not a D. And then I finally worked so hard, and I get a B, and I'm so excited, and I'm like, Dad, look, I got a B, I got a B. And he says, good. What does he next say? Now get an A. We all have those moments. Our parents can't always encourage us better than their parents encourage them. But I know that that's not an excuse. You see, love is communicated when I see you face to face, when I have time with you. You know who my dear friends are in America and my street, and which neighbors I get along with, and my family. We all spend time together. Everybody say time. Time is your greatest asset. I don't care if you're a billionaire, if you only got 5 minutes left and you don't know where you're going after this life, you are looking for something other than money. I was looking for arms and legs. I was looking for affirmation, and my mom and dad continued to plant those seeds of love in me. And that's the planting of seeds I want to do in my son's life. I want to spend time with him. I'm going to play video games with him. And yeah, when he becomes a teenager, maybe daddy's not going to be cool enough for him to hang out with anymore. I understand that happens in a lot of relationships. But he will know that I will keep on trying to connect with him, trying to talk with him, not just about homework, not just about career, and not just spending time with him when he's done something bad to give him a lecture. I know that my son will know how much his daddy loves him, because that's what my dad did for me. And so as you have encouragement, it takes you closer to your full potential. Let that book for me represent my full potential. Encouragement brings you closer. Discouragement takes you away. And as I got teased at school, the tree of lies grew fruit of lies. Nick, you're not good enough. Nick, you're a burden to your parents. Nick, you can't do anything. Nick, you're not going to get a job. Nick, just give up. No one's going to marry you. You can't even hold your wife's hand if you get married. You can't even hold your kids when they're crying. What kind of a father is that? You're alone and you'll always be alone. Does anyone know the greatest emotion as far as influence? The greatest influence of emotions, above all emotions, is fear. F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. You've heard that one before, right? Faith, F-A-I-T-H, full assurance in the heart. Faith is believing something that you do not see, certain of things hoped for. I wanted to believe that there was a hope, but I couldn't see a hope. I didn't have any faith because I couldn't even give myself any value because I just listened to everyone else's opinion. There are two types of fear. And it's most likely that if you've ever thought of giving up, it's because of an irrational fear. Rational fears that my parents had was, well, what kind of You know, school, is he going to go to school? Is he going to get married? Yeah, but then my fear was like, I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to be anybody. I'm never going to blah, 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 blah. Am I here today? Yes. Do I have a genuine, authentic smile today? Yes. Was my beautiful wife always coming in my life? Yes. My beautiful boy? Yes. Our future kids? Yeah, they're coming. The joy of being married, the joy of having a child. More than an excellent speaker, I want to be an excellent father. More than an excellent person who goes around and even talks about faith. More than that, I want to serve my wife first. If I can't be a good husband and a good father, I should not be going out there until I take care of my own home. And until I'm faithful with the first things, the primary things, then how can I ever communicate hope unless I've made sure that my home ground is safe and good and healthy? For me, when I was 10, nothing looked hopeful. And I tried to commit suicide at age 10 in 15 centimeters of water. I was teased all day at school, and I felt like there was going to be no hope. And the third time I rolled over in the bathtub, I was stopped by one thought. And it was the thought of seeing my mum and my dad crying at my grave, wishing that they could have done something more. And I didn't want to leave them with that pain, so I decided to stay. If my parents didn't tell me two things, that I'm beautiful the way that I am, and that they love me, I wouldn't be here today. Love, love, love saves and produces faith. Faith is trying to reach a potential you cannot see. Courage is strength when you don't feel like you can do it. For instance, if I jump off the table right now, that's actually a good idea. Let me try actually show you what courage is right now. Okay, ready? Everybody ready? Girls, are you ready? Boys, are you ready? Sparta! Right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm serious. No way. No way. Are you serious? No. If I did that, I'd break my arm or something, all right? But courage doesn't wait till you're not afraid. How do you get courage that gives you strength to do something while you're afraid? Well, here it is. If I'm on this stage and I'm in any room and I am alone and a fire is coming to me and no one's there to help me get off the table, will I jump off the table? Yes. What's changed? The same jump, the same pain, the same fear. One thing changed. Now I know why I need to do this. Purpose ignites courage. So it starts with love, then faith, then courage. And through the faith, you're trying to find the purpose you can't see yet. Does that make sense? Powerful string of words. And one day at a time, the first point I want to make out of the 8 is I am thankful. How can I get anywhere unless I know where I am? How can I do anything unless I know what I have first to do something with? My parents always said, stop being angry for what you don't have. Be thankful for what you do have. Well, the first point is attitude of gratitude. That's number 1. Point number 2 is you don't know what you can achieve until you try it. Point number 3, when I fail, try again. With these basic points, let's talk about the first thing. I was playing football one day, the real football, soccer, right? I love football. I can't wait for the World Cup. And the soccer ball is this height, and my friend is kicking the ball to me from way back. And he says, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Yes." And I was quite nervous. My knees were shaking. And he gets ready and he goes, boom. This ball's coming right for me. And I'm like, ah, right? I don't know what to do. And you know when something's coming right for you and you're trying to work out which way to go, and then you also feel and realize that, hey, no matter where I go, this thing's going to hit me. So I'm thinking, I'm going to hit the ball before the ball hits me. So I'm thinking, maybe I can headbutt it. No, it's a bit too low. Maybe I can kick it. No, it's a bit too high. So I jump up in the air. Have you seen The Matrix? In slow motion. And while I was in the air, did a karate kick, and I went, whoo, like that. And the ball came, hit my foot, bent it backwards, and I heard a and my foot all of a sudden went, oh. I need this thing. I type 43 words a minute on a normal computer after 2 cups of coffee, 53 words a minute. I need this to walk. I need this to drive my wheelchair. I need this just like you need your arms and your legs. I was in bed, man, for 3 weeks. And a 13-year-old thinks 3 weeks is like 3 years. First time I felt disabled. You know what I realized? I need to be thankful for what I have. I am thankful that I was made with a foot. People believe in luck, chance, or coincidence. I don't believe that at all. I also don't believe, though, at the same time that you can just think up something and it's going to happen. You know, I just got to be a good person and then good things are going to happen. No, the rain falls on the righteous and the unrighteous. And what you believe in your life doesn't actually change or alternate the truth. See, there is a truth that Nick Vujicic was going to be a speaker. If the truth was Nick Vujicic was never going to be a speaker, then Nick Vujicic will be something else. But Nick Vujicic would always be Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic, who he is today, is the same Nick Vujicic before he was a speaker. And as long as Nick Vujicic tries to just find his full potential, not comparing to anyone else, he will live to his full potential. But you can say to me, well, yeah, Nick, but that can't be true, right? You can make your own possibilities. Well, what if I just said every day to the mirror, I'm going to be an astronaut, I'm going to be an astronaut, I'm not going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be a policeman. How? Not everything is what? Possible. But it is evident to me that if you put these principles in place, you will find your full potential. If you need to let a dream die, let the dream die, but don't die in the meantime. Kill the dream, let it be. If you still have the fire in your heart to keep on going for your dream, then keep on going. Just make sure you don't sacrifice all your family in the process. Don't lose your marriage over money. Don't lose your marriage over success. Don't lose your family because of stuff, because the greatest things in life are not things. Be yourself. Teenagers, don't change yourself. The truth is that I'm wonderfully and fearfully made. I talk to so many kids. I ask them, do you think that I'm cool? They're like, yeah, you're so cool. I said, can I be your friend? They're like, oh, yeah. And I said, but I have no arms and no legs. And they're going to say, it's okay. And I say, it's okay that I have no arms, no legs. It's okay. It doesn't matter how I look. They said, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's okay. I said, then why do we tease each other for how we look? When you have goals, don't let your achievement define you. When you look a certain way, don't let your appearance define your value. Be the best you. Reach your full potential and take one day at a time. Be thankful for what you have. Think of the 3 dearest things in your life right now. You've got 60 seconds to live from now. Do your loved ones know how much they love you? And do they know how much you love them? And do you know how much they love you? 50 seconds left. Who did you not say sorry to yet? Who did you not forgive yet? Have you forgiven yourself of the past? 40 seconds. Think of those dearest people and make sure they know tonight how much you love them. Because tomorrow is not promised. Be thankful for your family. Be thankful for your dear ones first, because money can't buy that. Take one day at a time. Keep trying. You don't know what you can achieve until you try. And then Thomas Edison, he invented the light bulb. You know what happened? He tried 10,000 times. You know what that means? He was successful once and failed 9,999 times. You know what he said? I never failed 9,999 times. Now I know 9,999 ways in how not to make a light bulb. That's point number 4. Failure equals education. Some failure is more expensive. But if I try 100 times to get back up and I can't get up, it's too hard. If I fail, am I a failure? No. Do you know how many people from ages 40 to 60 are still remembering what their fathers told them that were negative, and they're disabled emotionally and mentally from the things their father told them when they were only 10 years old? Words are powerful. I don't want to tear down someone with words. I want to build people up. I want to encourage people to be all that they can be. So I want to tell you today, if you told me that I am not a failure, even though I failed 100 times, then why do you ever give 1 second to the idea that you're a failure? You are not a failure. I don't care how you look. I don't care what you can do or cannot do. I don't care how many friends you have or not have. You are here for a reason. Do not give up, because you don't know what's around the corner. I'm not promising a better day, but I'm giving you hope even within your circumstance.
You can overcome.